Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you had a good weekend. I haven't posted the last couple weeks. I got a few excuses. I was going to call them reasons, but they're more like excuses. Uh, First one is last testimony I did was Easter Sunday, and I actually did like three of them in one. So I felt like I had a little credit. The second excuse is I was laid up all last weekend, had a procedure the Friday before, wasn't able to get off the couch for a few days. And the third excuse is probably the biggest one, and that is I've been dreading this chapter of my life that I'd like to discuss, but I have to. There's maybe a few people, or a lot of people, or maybe one person that is going through what I went through, and if I could help just that one person, or a few people, or many people, it's worth my time. So I'm going to leave off. If you guys have been following, there was a chapter called The Devil Smells Fresh Meat. I'm going to take off from where I left off with that. And to give you a recap, um, this story goes back about 12 years. Got in a bad snowmobile accident, went through a divorce, and then started spending a lot of time at the bars and drinking a lot. Spent a lot of money, and I was hungover just as much as I was drunk, and it wasn't good. So we're gonna take off from there. Like I said, I was drinking so much. It was about every other day. I was still doing my job, but the nights I went drinking, the next day I wasn't very good at my job, and I just wanted to get home at the end of the day and go sleep because I'd been out partying all night the night before. And I'd wake up the next day, go to work, and by the time I got done with work, I was ready to party again, and so on, you know. And I was falling behind on my house chores and just everything. You know, I put partying first, and I was late for work a few times, which is unlike me. Um, I was just dragging, you know, I was dead. I was just either drunk, hungover, or just a zombie. And that's when the devil found an opportunity to dangle another carrot in front of me, which I was vulnerable at the time, still very vulnerable. And the devil introduced me to some people that happened to be into meth. And the devil, aka the people he sent, told me that, you know, they got something that could keep me going. They could, you know, make me alert and awake, and I'd never miss work. I'd never be late for work again. I'd have energy. I'd be able to get my housework done, be able to do the things I want to do, and still be able to drink and party and not be tired. So that's when it all started. Shortly after I started my DJ business, some people came into the bar and started hanging out with me a little bit more. They were interested in my business, and they actually worked for me for a little while. I don't know, a year and a half maybe. And that whole year and a half, that's basically all we did was meth and drink and party and uh, go to these bars, you know, and either DJ or just go drink. And it wore me out even more, you know, after a period of time. These two people, they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and they kept taking and taking and taking. I was buying most of the drugs. They were just there to mooch off of me, and At one point, they wanted to be partners with my business. They wanted us all three to be equal partners in the business I started. And I was like, no, you know, you guys would own 2/3 of it, and I wouldn't even have a say in my own business. I said, that's ridiculous. And that's when things started to go downhill with our relationship. And they just drained me financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, just everything. I was just drained. I had nothing left to give. And I tell you what, it was probably the roughest period of my life, even though at the time I thought I had everything under control. I really didn't. And that's the thing about meth users, you know, when you're on it, you don't think anybody knows that you're on it, but they do. I know that for a fact. They do. My family knew, my friends knew. I started to lose friends. I wouldn't say lose, but you know, a lot of my good friends kind of just sat on the sidelines and waited for me to clean up because everybody knows you can't force a drug user to clean up. You know, you can beg and plead and do whatever you want, but until they're ready to clean up, they're not going to. So a lot of my family and friends kind of just hung out, waited on the sidelines, watched from a distance. You know, they're still there, but they didn't want to associate with me, or I guess more of me not wanting to associate with them. You know, I missed out on a couple Thanksgiving dinners because I was high on meth, didn't want to eat. Uh, that's my favorite meal of the day. The thing about that drug, you know, you don't eat, you don't sleep, and those are like two of my favorite things to do in life. And I don't know why I was attracted to that drug because seriously, like eating and sleeping is awesome. It's two of my favorite things. And here I was depriving myself of both of them, and it wasn't good. My health was deteriorating. I wasn't healthy at all, and I wasn't making a very good name for myself. Like I said, everybody knows if you're on meth. There's no hiding it. I mean, there might be a few people that can hide it well, but for the most part, you know, I'd walk into a bar and people would know I was geeked out of my mind. So, um, yeah, I had to make some changes because, like I said, I hit rock bottom. I had nothing left to give. I was selling, man. I was selling. I had military grade helicopters. I don't think they were police. These things look like unarmed Apache helicopters almost, circling around my house out in the country. There's nothing out there. There's no reason for a helicopter to even be out there. And these things were circling past my house. Maybe I was just paranoid. Maybe God was hinting to me that I needed to lay low and get off this stuff. Um, yeah, I was selling, using, thought I was under the radar, but I guarantee I was on a watch list. Cops had to have known. You know, there's no way to hide it. So I was at the lowest of my low, hit rock bottom. I'm going to share with you at another time how I got clean. Um, you know, God was with me the whole time. I guarantee it. I felt like I got clean myself. You know, I made the decision myself, but really it was God pushing me. He had plans for me in the future, and if I wouldn't have got clean, my wife, my current wife, wouldn't have gave me the time of day. I guarantee it. You know, we met at a bar at one of my DJ gigs, and if I would have been geeked out of my mind, she wouldn't have gave me the time of day. So I guarantee God had his hand in that. And like I said, I'm going to save that for another testimony because that's a whole nother chapter on how I got clean. But man, if you're using and you're watching this, stay tuned because I'm going to give you some awesome advice, some real life advice, not just your mom telling you you need to clean up. This is from either a friend or a stranger, whoever I may be to you. Um, I'm telling you, I was about as bad of an addict as they get. And if I can pull out of it and change my life around and find Jesus and make something out of myself, you can too. I guarantee it. So stay tuned. No Bible verse today. Sorry. Read the Bible. There's a whole bunch of verses in there. I promise. Just pick one. They're all good. And I will chat with you guys next week. See ya. Bye.